February is one of the shortest months of the year, but one of the biggest for skincare launches. Let's recap some of my favorite ones from this month. Hi everyone, my name is Alex. There were so many skincare launches in February, and every month I love to recap at the end my favorite skincare launches from this month. Some of them I've tried, some of them I'm trying right now, some of them I've still ordered and waiting to receive them. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in because we've got a lot of ground to cover. I love when brands take new approaches transforming serums, face mists into each other. Naturium's Barrier Bounce Face Mist is something I have always hoped would be a product on the market because of how much I love the Barrier Bounce serum. I just got done trying this and it's one of the best dewy face mists I have ever tried for a lightweight finish that still gives a pretty dewy, radiant glow. There are so many dewy face mists on the market, but I love the combination of squalane with urea in this product. It's just an ingredient list that has worked really well for my acne. A little bit more lightweight than the Barrier Bounce treatment, and I feel like it would be more suitable for any skin type because of that reason. It still gives a little bit of a natural glowy look to the face, which I personally enjoy. If you followed me for a while, you know I love a dewy finish to the skin, exactly what this face mist delivers. Redness and acne has been a struggle of mine forever, and Prequel's new sulfur cleanser is the perfect gentle treatment for that, utilizing azelaic acid in a really gentle concentration with 2.5% colloidal sulfur. Has been one of the best acne cleansers that I have ever tried without utilizing any harsh actives like salicylic acid that I've sometimes experienced sensitivity to. This sulfur approach more delivers an instant benefit in terms of redness that is reduced on my skin with more acne fighting properties over an extended period of time. Because it is a cleanser, it is a short form contact treatment, but to maximize that, I've been using it as a face mask 2 to 3 times a week to ensure that I am getting that maximum benefit. I like it because it is moisturizing with the blend that they included in here, not too drying like some sulfur products, and doesn't have a terrible smell. The sulfur smell is still there, just warning you, but nothing bad because it is short contact, and they have made this a really nice, luxurious formula. It's off as a moisturizer-like texture, comes up really nice, and was the perfect balanced cleanser for my skin. Best known for their lip products, Rhode is back with a new Peptide Lip Boost Plumping Lip Mask. They have a great moisturizing blend in here, and more seem to take the natural plumping effect of some peptides and volumizing ingredients that may show more long-term benefits. I personally haven't felt this product yet. I was iffy on the Rhode Peptide Lip Treatment. I haven't tried the new formulation where they were supposed to fix some of the grittiness. I do need to try, but this new lip treatment I am very excited for. It seems to be more focused on deeply nourished hydration, and I prefer that with a lip treatment, especially when I'm using it overnight. Still unsure about this product and how it will work for me, but it is good to see them expanding their lip collection to a more rich treatment. The original peptide lip treatment was more of just a daily go-to lip balm that wasn't terribly nourishing, not my favorite, honestly. I'm going into this new lip plumper with an open mind. It doesn't seem to utilize any initially plumping ingredients, more just focuses on the hydration and more extended possible plumping benefit. So we will see. I'm gonna spend some more time with this product to test it out. It's good to see Rhode also diving into the face mask territory with their new Caffeine Reset Sculpting Cream Mask. I'm a little iffy on this product as well because caffeine is a great ingredient to depuff and rejuvenate the skin. I've seen great benefits with utilizing that ingredient specifically in eye treatment, but I've not really seen it much used in moisturizer formulation. So I can't wait to see what I notice with this. I'm a little iffy with some of the claims on it, claiming it is supposed to sculpt and vitalize the face. I'm going into it with an open mind. It looks to be a really nourishing treatment as well. With these cream face mask style products, sometimes I've seen benefit with leaving them on the skin. This is saying this without even feeling this treatment, so I may change my opinion on that, but at the moment, it looks to be a little bit expensive for what you're getting. I still wanted to make you aware of it though, because Rhode does make some great formulations. I'm gonna go into this with an open mind and see how I feel about it. It is still good to see Rhode diving into the face mask territory. A Korean skincare brand best known for their Retinol Revive Eye Cream is back with a new Retinol Revive Moisturizer. Joseon looks to be tackling the more moisturizing retinol formulations with this new formula. They utilize ginseng ceramides, which is a unique blend. Could show some brightening benefits. I'm currently in the middle of trying it right now. I personally am liking using it as a gentle retinol treatment. I don't love retinol. I wish they would have went for retinaldehyde in this formulation like their eye cream. I guess they had to cover a lot of territory with their line. It seems to be a more moisturizing option in terms of retinol treatment. It's not terribly expensive and comes in a gel cream-like texture. It's super lightweight, blends into the skin immediately. I always love a more moisturizing retinol option on the market. I'm still formulating my opinion on this. I just started trying it out not too long ago. If you're a fan of toner pads to gently exfoliate the skin, Glow Recipe has released an LHA AHA Korean watermelon toner pad. It actually looks really promising. When I saw Glow Recipe releasing toner pads, I was expecting them to be loaded down with fragrance, ingredients that sometimes don't work for my skin, especially Glow Recipe's fragrance has been hit or miss with me, but these are a fragrance-free toner pad. I'm not the biggest fan of toner pads. I just like using toners usually, but it is still a good option to have if you prefer delivery to an exfoliating treatment. They utilize AHA, LHA, watermelon enzymes, and a nice soothing blend that I might actually be interested in trying out. They also have salicylic acid in here. I feel like this is definitely the toner pad that would be most designed for acne-prone skin. Looks pretty promising, so I might be trying this formulation out. Let me know if it is something that you're interested in seeing, because I've been on the fence whether I'm gonna order this product or not. PDRN is one of the most recognizable skincare ingredients at the moment. I see so many people talking about it, and so it's no surprise that Glow Recipe released a PDRN Repair and Soothe toner pad that looks to utilize 2 types of vegan PDRN. I'm always intrigued by the vegan options because sometimes PDRN doesn't work for my acne-prone skin. It's just very hit or miss. Vegan options have been better for my skin personally. So with this, I'm always interested to see what brands do in terms of the vegan alternatives. It also has centella, panthenol, soothing ingredients, beta-glucan, a lot of recognizable ingredients that have worked well for my acne-prone skin. And it is also another fragrance-free toner pad from Glow Recipe. So this might be something I'm interested in trying. I'm not sure how I feel about vitamin C and a toner pad. Glow Recipe released a toner pad highlighting guava and vitamin C, which I'm a big fan of their guava vitamin C serum. I don't really know if a toner pad is necessary for this style of ingredient. I feel like it's best to deliver those in a targeted treatment serum, but they have also released a toner pad that has some pretty standard ingredients, utilizes glutathione, guava extract, caffeine, niacinamide, some ingredients that I'm not really sure personally speak to my skin concerns because it is a brightening treatment in a toner pad. I more like to be more targeted with those treatments, and I just feel like a toner pad is kind of wasteful, especially in that formulation, but that is a new option on the market if you are interested in that. Sunscreens are a very saturated market, but as someone who is acne prone, I always love when new options are released because it opens the door for people who have acne prone skin or another option. That's the best thing with acne I've noticed, is options are important. Sofie Pavitt is the newest brand to release a sunscreen formulation. They claim it is non-comedogenic. That's one of the biggest marketing terms of this, which I don't personally subscribe to using. I don't feel like that is a well-labeled terminology, and something that I like to see with brands. I just kind of ignore it when I see it because it's very vague marketing in my opinion. Looking over the ingredients, I am excited to at least try out this formulation and see how it forms. They do utilize ectoin blended with niacinamide, vitamin E. Looks to be a more simple ingredient list to a sunscreen utilizing American chemical-based filters. I mean, it's an American chemical-based filter sunscreen. I know a lot of those that work for my skin, but it's always good to have more options on the market for acne-prone skin. This is $38 though. I wanted to mention it as an option. I am going to be trying out this product, but that price point is already a lot for a sunscreen. Very hard to justify that price point with how often I go through sunscreen, but still it is another option. If you've been looking for an acne-prone sunscreen, I don't know if this will work for my acne. Can't tell if it's gonna work for your acne, but it is another option on the market to try. Eye creams are something I don't feel are worth investing in unless you are getting some style of treatment with it, and Remedy Skin looks to be doing that with their Remedy for Dark Circles. A really innovative formula for the price point, utilizing kojic acid, niacinamide, caffeine, and algae complex that looks to be both skin barrier strengthening, supporting, hydrating, and treating for dark circles. I'm really excited to try it. Looks to come in nice, convenient packaging. I haven't actually felt this product yet, but it looks to be a really intriguing option and very affordable compared to how other brands upsell their eye creams. We'll say I have been seeing less and less eye creams released, and I like to be intentional with when I spend money on eye creams because they're not really something I find myself gravitating towards. I am still excited to try out this formulation. If you're a fan of eye patches, cosrx is the newest brand to release a PDRN style brightening eye patch. I am going to try out this product because they did send it to me. I am not the most excited for it because I don't love eye patches. They can be nice in a splurge situation, but I just don't use eye creams a ton. They do utilize glutathione and some nice gentle brightening ingredients in here, along with the moisturizing PDRN approach that they took with this product. Look to utilize actual PDRN and then a hydrating blend with centella, rice, and skin strengthening ingredients. I will see how this product performs. I'm trying to go into it with an open mind. I really don't try out eye patches a ton just because I feel like they are a little bit wasteful when you could just use an eye cream, but I have to admit they are fun sometimes. I like doing it when I'm hosting an event or with my friends, or I'm just wanting a little self-care night. It's just like placebo, you know? New to the face mask market, Byoma has a new Biocollagen Radiance face mask. This is a peel-off mask. Not my favorite style of face mask, but I've been seeing amazing things from people who have tried it. From the bouncy look it gives the skin, the hydrating skin barrier supporting ingredients. I'm personally excited because they seem to utilize a gentle complex in here that soothes the skin. Byoma always loads down their ingredient list for a really good price point, and face masks are more of a splurge product, so I would rather pay that more affordable price point rather than say $20+. I feel like this is much better of a price tag for that. Not sure what type of results, how often I'll be able to use it, or if it will work for my acne. Still gotta try this product out and see for myself. One of the most exciting launches this month was from Banu, which I'm not surprised. They've loaded down so many of their ingredient lists with simple yet effective formulations. Their acne serum is my favorite formula from them, but they have a new milky dark spot treating serum that I've not seen a lot of on the market. Definitely more of an expensive treatment, but from the looks of it is loaded down with not only treatment ingredients, but skin barrier supporting ingredients as well. Tranexamic acid at 3% with alpha-arbutin at 2% in a light milky formulation, and utilizing simple ingredients is my favorite part of this treatment. I can't wait to feel it. Milky dark spot treatment is something that I don't see a lot of on the market, but I do know of some options that I love as well. So I will be comparing this treatment to some of those and seeing how it performs. Banu more markets themselves focusing on the ingredients that matter. Like in their acne treatment, they utilize great active-based ingredients, but they keep it simple with the rest, which sometimes works better for acne-prone skin. Like I said before, options are always important. I've seen a lot of people break out from tranexamic acid. Though I haven't had that experience, it's good to have another option on the market. It's always so exciting to see one of my favorite brands entering into a new retailer. Getting the success they deserve, Cyklar is now available at Sephora, which I personally like because it is more easily accessible and you can go smell these products in store. I did want to mention they have released a new rose collection, which I'm really excited for. Not the biggest fan of rose fragrances, but I have a lot of friends that would love it, and I love giving gifts of skincare, and that's what I feel like this is going to be best. Cyklar's body collection has been one of the most moisturizing, long-lasting with scent, but not overpowering fragrances that I really enjoy. All of their scents are carefully curated. You can tell they put a lot of thought into the notes they include in their body fragrances, and I love the rose packaging. Deep maroon is my favorite color right now, as you can see. Something that I really want to try and have in my bathroom selfishly for the packaging, but it looks to utilize a complex blend on a rose take fragrance, so I'm really excited to see what they've done with it. If you've been looking for a new affordable body wash, I would recommend turning to Naturiums. They are some of the best body washes, both from treatment perspectives and also just from daily use perspectives. And they have a new multi-peptide body wash that looks to be a creamy, moisturizing, skin barrier supporting option that would also work great on the face as well. One thing I love about Naturium body collections, a lot of times they are great to use on the face or the body, depending on which what you need. They have a great value attached to it and a wonderful blend of amino acids, glycerin, peptides, and skin supporting ingredients that I feel like would make a simple yet effective cleanser. That's why I do want to order this body wash for myself to try both on my face and my body. A viral skincare product that never officially got released has finally had its moment with Krave Beauty's Lip Barrier Relief. Something I love, first of all, is that they are donating 50% of all proceeds to the FarmLink project. I feel like it is important to support brands that align with your morals, and Krave Beauty has constantly aligned with my morals, so that is an amazing thing. Krave Beauty also utilizes upcycled ingredients in many of their formulas, and that is no different with this lip balm. They're saying this is a limited edition lip balm, and I'm begging them not to make it limited edition. It's really nice. It utilizes a great blend of nourishing oils and fatty acids along with ceramides to make a really skin barrier supporting and affordable lip balm. This is $14. I feel like that is pretty good compared to the typical $16 to $24 range. Fragrance free and utilizes a great blend that's super nourishing and a little bit glossy for the lips. I absolutely love this formulation. I feel like it is one of the best from Krave Beauty and needs to be a permanent edition. This is going to be another case of me never shutting up about how I hope they make this permanent. I'm not the biggest fan of limited edition skincare launches for that reason, just because I feel like consistency is the best prophecy with skincare. And it's hard to do that when products get discontinued. I know it's a lip balm. It's not anything make or break, but it is definitely a great formulation. I'm a huge fan of simple oil cleansers because I am acne prone, and Good Molecules has released a matcha biphase oil cleanser that looks so promising. I can't wait to try out this formula and see how it performs for myself. It is claiming to be a water oil dual phase cleanser. I'm interested by that. It kind of reminds me of the CeraVe oil water cleanser that I loved before. I'm interested to see how I use this in my routine. I'm someone who wears light makeup and sunscreen, so usually these styles of products do act good as a first cleanse, but I will be curious how I feel like I can use it and how it performs for my skin. This product has popped up in stores. It's already in stores, which usually takes a while for Good Molecules products. I think it's in Ulta, so if you are near that, make sure you go pick it up. This was my list for the best skincare launches of February, but let me know if I missed any and what launches you're most excited for out of this list. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and you want to see more like this, make sure you subscribe because I post new videos every week, and we'll see you all in the next review.